there, my lovelies. Welcome back. How have you been? I know, I'm back already. It's shocking. I'm impressed too. I know. It's amazing. It's a feat. I don't know. I've just been feeling very talkative lately. Very, I don't want to say bored because that comes across so mean, but yeah, bored. No offense. Anyways, look at the nails. My sister did them for me. I love them. Sidetracked. Getting back on to the point. If you're in the project panning community, you know, we oftentimes create our own little projects. Now here's the thing. A lot of these projects, they're too like high commitment for such a low like amount of time for me. I am very much I'm going to use what I use maybe once or twice a week, but for like a year kind of person, you know? Like that's how the autism works. I don't like just rolling things in for a couple months because then I'm like, okay, this is a part of my routine, but then it's no longer a part of my routine and I get really panicked and freaked out. So I've decided to do kind of like a thing called back burner project pan where these are the things I'm working on slowly, not a lot, maybe like 10 uses a month max, probably more like 5 or 10, but they're still there. I still want to use them and I still want to work my way through them. I don't really care if it takes me 20 years. I'm gonna get through them, you know? Ignore the hair, it's a mess. I'm aware of it, but let's go ahead and get into the rules for the project because I guess I get set those now, which is honestly, I kind of like it. I was gonna say it's terrifying, but no, I like it. I have a mild god complex, which makes me a writer. Okay, anyways, so the goals and the rules for the project are as follows. So basically, it's low commitment. You can do this on your own, no social media presence, just kind of reaching for something once a week, maximum twice a week. I mean, there's no maximum, but the whole point is like it's a back burner kind of product, right? Like it's something you want to get usage on, but you don't want to get a lot of usage on it. You're not in love with it. You just want to use it, get your money's worth out of it. Henceforth, back burner project pan. So for me, that product is eyeshadows. There are a lot of eyeshadows where it's like I just want to get 1 or 2 uses out of it. But for you, those might be lipsticks or nail polishes or blushes, bronzers, highlighters, mascaras, eyeliners, I don't know, brow products, whatever you want, you can roll in. I personally don't really do like any sort of body care products or skincare products, but if you want to do that, you can do that too. You can just do this with no social media presence. You can literally just update us in someone's comment section if that is how you choose to do it, you know, but still maybe have some little goals for some literal like little products, you know, that you just kind of work your way through each month. Maybe it's just reaching for that one blush 5 times a month because it sits in your drawer for way too long. For me, again, those products are eyeshadows because as we have discussed, I tend to like hyper focus in on eyeshadows and I make them part of my routine and then I don't let them leave. So I think this would be a really good project for me personally because I get to just roll in some eyeshadows that maybe I wouldn't use otherwise. Those are the rules. Basically, it's just low usage goals. Like try to keep it like below 5 a month. Literally, like I would say 5 is the limit. 7 if you're really pushing it. Another thing that you can do is you can roll in, say, a shade that maybe you don't have in a project you're already working on. For example, I'm about to finish all my usage goals for like, I like waterline blending out shades. So I have quite a few palettes here with a lot of waterline blending out shades where it's not so much that I'm going to focus on all those shades. I'm probably just going to pick one and then work on it until I'm bored of it or until I roll in another shade in a different project. So with the rules stated, let's go ahead and talk about what I'm rolling in. I have 3 palettes that I kind of just want to get a little bit of usage on. A lot of them are kind of starting to break because I really like to look at my palettes. I find they're really good for visual stimulation, and then I kind of get some usage on them and the hinges start to wear down and break and all that sort of stuff. And so they have a lot of wear and tear on the packaging, but not a lot of wear and tear on the actual products. I just kind of want to use them down until I can get them into like transferred, like little like transplanting. repotting pots. There we go. That's like the proper term. I just want to get I want to get them down a little bit, because if you ever try to like repot a completely full eyeshadow, it's a pain in the butt. And honestly, I think these are actually bigger eyeshadows than my eyeshadow pots will allow. Starting with the first palette, I'm just gonna go ahead and take the, like I said, a lot of the lids come off of these, so I'll just go ahead and do that. So starting with the first one, this is just an Ulta palette that I got one year for Christmas, and I kind of haven't used it a lot, but there are some shades in here that I don't really have in other projects, or I do have in other projects, but I've hit the usage goal for them in those projects. So I'm moving on into this pan. So for example, there's a lot of like eyeliner shades. You can see the black, the dark blue, the shimmery black, and the shimmery dark brown. I think those would be really great to use as like my waterline blending out shades. You can kind of see that I do those, and if you watch any of my shorts, you'll probably see those too. And then another shade that there are lid setting shades. I do set my lids quite a bit because I have a lot of discoloration on my eyelids, so I use concealer, and I like to set them down so it doesn't crease as much. It still creases, but what can you do? I don't use the highest quality stuff, so creases, and I don't really care. I don't know why I would care. That was the first palette. The second palette, I have to be very, very careful with the packaging because one of the hinges is slightly broken and the other one, it is not. But this is the Makeup Revolution Passion for Color palette. I don't know if you can see, I do have two pans in here, one in this very light green shade and one in this like very light yellow shade, and I do love those shades. At the moment I'm not working on either of them really, but I do reach for them quite a bit. It's actually the other ones in here that I want to reach for. So this gold, I love golds. If you guys know, on Tuesdays I always wear yellow / gold eyeshadow, and I try to wear like a gold / yellow shirt. Sometimes it doesn't work because I do work at an Olive Garden. Dress codes, what can you do? Although hosts, we have had our dress code change, so I might see if I can find like a yellow button down for when I host, which I do technically have one, but it's my Ren Fair shirt. Like it's like a yellow Ren Fair, and it's very like medievally inspired, not exactly something you can wear to an Olive Garden. But something I also really love about this palette is that again has those darker sort of waterline blending out shades, but this one has more colorful shades. So say I'm doing a blue look, I would have a blue to blend that out with, or a purple look, I would have a purple, a green look, I would have a green. It just really allows for more versatility. It also has another inner corner highlight shade, that really light pink, which I don't know how much I would be using it because actually the order that I'm showing you guys these in is like the order that they're taking precedence. So say that I do need a pink inner corner highlight, I'm more likely to reach for the one in the Ulta palette than the one in the Makeup Revolution Passion for Color palette, simply because again, a lot of the goal for this is to get it down to a point where I can repot these shades. So like obviously if I need a yellow inner corner highlight, I would reach for the yellow one in here, because I do have another yellow one in the project, but it is not as, like the packaging is not nearing the breaking point, and that is kind of the whole point of this project and why I want to work on these, is because A, they aren't getting a lot of usage, and B, the packaging is starting to break before I can get it like used up, which I think is the bane of literally any person who wears makeup. Your product is going to break before you use it all the way up, and that is one reason why some people do buy more high-end makeup, is because they want packaging that actually lasts. I personally, that's a little bit out of my budget, so I have been trying to move more into like kind of like cardboard packaging for the stuff I buy, because the plastic stuff just breaks on me every single time. Of course, I have not been buying like any makeup recently, which I'm very proud of. I feel like, I don't know, I just recently bought a 2011 Durango, and I know consciously I did not spend $10,000 on makeup, but I don't know, I bought a car and I'm like only 17, so Maybe I did. Maybe I saved 10 grand because I didn't buy makeup. Who knows? All right, and our third and final palette is this one, the Makeup Revolution color book in the fifth like version, which is greens and blues. There we go. So you can see it's all shimmers on one side and it's all mattes on another side. And this is just kind of here if I need a green or a blue. That's really it. There are some greens and some blues in my current spring Pan That palette, but after that we don't have any greens or blues in our summer Pandas palettes. We won't be having green or blue like in a palette that we're actively working on like every single day until September. Wait, yeah, September, and even then I roll them in on the 21st. So I like after June 21st, I won't have a green or a blue that I'll be working on until September 21st. And I really love green, and I'm neutral on blue, and so I want to have some of these shades so I can still have like progress being tracked on them. And again, it offers more of those like liner shades. It offers a wide variety of inner corner shades. There are some yellowy greens in here too, which I think are really, really pretty. And another thing is for cooler toned looks, I can use this really, really light blue as a lid setting shade. And if I'm wearing like a blue or a gray look, or even like a purple look, it looks really, really pretty because it's a really light wash of a blue, which doesn't even really leave behind any pigment. But I feel like it just slightly changes my undertone to be like a smidge cooler. I think I have very neutral undertones. I look good in both silver and gold. I just prefer cooler tones, so I wear cooler tones a lot, and so I want to have a palette with lots of cool tones in it, and this definitely provides that. But the reason why I'm rolling this in, because if you can't see the packaging, it works fine. It's not broken at all. I just want to roll this in because it's 48 shades, so I would rather, if the packaging does break, I have that head start on this palette where I already maybe have a few pans, and you know, some of the other shades have some more usage. And also, I don't think I've used every single shade in this palette before. I just want to like maybe honestly even do this in order, where it's like in order I try to get 5 uses on a shade and then I move on and then I move on and then I move on. I did think about doing a Pan That palette in order with this one because it would last us a while. I mean, 1 pan a month, this would be 4 years. I don't think I'm gonna do that though, because it's not that I don't think anyone wants to watch that. I think it's just that I don't want to do that. So I'm not going to do that. And again, I don't like just rolling things in for 1 month and then rolling them out. That's kind of why this is the back burner project. It's where I put the stuff I want to be using long term at a very slow rate. Now that we have finished introducing all the palettes, I just want to go over all of my goals for this upcoming month. So starting with this palette, I would like to get just as much usage as I can on this shade. I will be tracking it. I won't be the most like diligent about it, and I won't really care if maybe I only reach for it 15 times. I really honestly won't care because this is a backup palette. It's not meant to be my main focus in life at the moment. And honestly, it's just kind of in here because I need a listing shade and I'm gonna need some liner shades pretty soon. Speaking of liner shades, I think I have like 10 uses left on my current eyeliner like shade until I reach my usage goal. And so once that's done, I'm going to roll in this very like matte black, and then that will just be my new like blending out shade for my eyeliner. In theory, yes, I could continue to work on my spring Pandas palettes shades because actually none of the liner shades have pan in them, but I don't want to, I'd say like a part of me wants to focus on those shades and hyper focus in on them, but also I set a goal and I don't want to like go above that goal because it feels like it would be breaking the rules. And I don't know, I have very weird thoughts and ambitions when it comes to that. Another shade I might be working on is this very pale pink shade. or this sandy pink shade. Those are just kind of backup shades for in case I do reach a usage, like my usage limit, not my usage limits, my usage goals on my Spring Pan palettes shade, like inner corner shades, but I don't think I will do that. Oh, I don't even know how I forgot about this though. There are two shades that I think I want to work on are these like matte brown and this matte peach, because my Pan palettes only have 4 transition shades, 2 of which are acceptable for daily usage because there's a blue one and a green one, and I'm like, I'm not using those. Those ones are also nearing the end of their journey with me. I say that as though they'll go in the trash can at the end of this. They won't. They'll just retire until next year. I'm gonna have some backup shades for those. Okay, and now for this palette, I'm just going to let you look at them and take a mental note of the shades I'm talking about because it's very fragile currently and I don't want to hold it up for too long. But I am going to aim to get some usage on that very light green shade. I just hit pan on it on my last use, and I think I want to get 4-ish uses on it this month. I'm sorry, I count the months differently. The seasonal, the new month starts on the 21st, but this one it does start on the 1st. So it's a little bit confusing, but yes, I do want to get 4 uses on this in the upcoming month. And then the lightest like yellow shade, again, I think I want to get maybe like 4 uses on in this upcoming month. And then that gold shade, I want to get another like 4 uses on it. I think 4 is going to be about the pace that I work on this palette with, because I absolutely love these, like these 2, this green shade and this gold shade. And so I try to wear them like about once a week. So going off of, you know, like 4 weeks in a month, even though that's not technically mathematically right, I want to wear each of them at least once a week, and then that'll be about 4 uses a month. And for the color book, 5, really, I just want to reach into this maybe like 4 or 5 times total. Let's do 5 times total, just because it's not like my favorite palette of all of my palettes. Again, it's in here because it's freaking massive, and Young Me had money. That's how I explain a lot of my makeup purchases. Young Me had money. Ironically, current me has a lot more money, but I'm a lot better with it. I know a lot of people who are like, I was so good with money when I was like a kid getting like pathetic allowance, and I'm like, dude, I was so bad with money then, but now I have money and I'm really financially responsible. This palette is here because Young Me had money. That can be the yeah, we can have 3 different themes. Okay, Young Me had money, freaking love it, and packaging is falling apart. There we go. Those are our 3 categories. Feel free to also use those if you do this project. Also, if you do this project, tag me. I want to check it out. I want to check out your journey. I love watching like Project Pan videos. They consumed my YouTube feed for a while there. Still do consume my Reddit and Instagram feeds though. Reddit is just cool science facts, panning, and science. Also, I never want to tell people that I'm on Reddit. I wouldn't call myself a Redditor, but I am on Reddit, and I'm sorry, I love Reddit. I just do. I love forum websites. I digress. That was the project. That was the introduction. Those were the rules / guidelines. I'm not gonna be offended if you twist and bend things. Maybe your idea of a background project paint is getting 10 uses or 2 uses on something in a month. I'm not the one using your makeup. I really don't care. Honestly, like, make this work for you. That's all I'll tell you. Give it a go, you know, try to use makeup that maybe you wouldn't otherwise use a few times a month. And if you think I should roll in a couple lipsticks into this project, because I'm really bad about like wearing lipsticks, even though again, Young Me had money, no, and maybe I will. Okay, I'm gonna go finish schoolwork, finish my coffee, because I'm chronically ill and in a flare-up. This is giving me what little energy I have today. I swear I'm not sad. I'm just tired. And I will catch you in the next one. Bye.